Woke up this morning with my mind made up on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed up on love. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed up on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm living my life with my mind stayed up on spirit. I'm living my life with my mind stayed up on love. I'm living my life with my mind stayed up on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm singing and dancing with my mind stayed up on spirit. I'm singing and dancing with my mind stayed up on love. I'm singing and dancing with my mind stayed up on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, yeah, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Woo! I woke up this morning with my mind stayed up on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed up on love. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed up on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. Yes, we've changed things up again. I put Aiden up here. I moved some more chairs. That's a really cool spot to sit now, isn't it? Doesn't that feel great? That is so awesome. So if any of you back there want to sit up here at any time, you guys can wave back and forth to each other. It's all good. It's all good. Welcome on this long weekend Sunday, and I'm Reverend Helen Valleau. I am the spiritual director here at the Center for Spiritual Living. And Kim, if you can just turn over to who we are, what we do, what we stand for. Our theme for 2019 is uplifting service. We are taking action. Action with love for a better future. Our purpose as an intentional spiritual community is to be a hub for living well. We are a place for you to explore your spirituality or whatever else that meant, blah, blah, blah. And this is a place for you to be seen and loved unconditionally. We celebrate community, connection, happiness, wellness, and inspiration. We embody the understanding of our oneness with all life, and we consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. We understand that to learn how to think is to learn how to live, and I'm going to add in how to thrive, how to open our hearts to receive so much good that is available for us in the universe. And our vision statement is, and we can say it all out loud together, love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Yes, and we also have the honor of acknowledging that this Center is situated upon the spiritual territories of the Wendat Nation, the Mississaugas of the New Credit, and the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. We also honor the mystics and masters that have walked this earth plane, leaving their imprint for us to learn from. And so, again, welcome to your spiritual home. We have a few people that are here for the first time. Oh, I just said I wasn't going to call you out, and now I'm calling you out. I'm so sorry. We have a welcome package for you. So Judy's going to give you a welcome package, and we thank you for bringing your consciousness to be with us today. And now I'm going to invite Aiden back up to take us through our invocation song. Some of you will know this song so well. And I invite you just to take a breath and let those beautiful, beautiful words resonate in your heart space.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love,
So I invite you all just to take a breath in, breathing in. Breathing into the love, breathing the love deep into your soul. Breathing out peace right from the wellspring of your soul. As we enter into a conscious union with all life, with the I am. I invite you to feel the embodiment of joy, peace, and presence, to dive in and ready your own soul to receive all the goodness, all the love you can possibly conceive in your mind. So I'll take another deep breath in together. Breathe it in. Know that as we speak the word of truth to ourselves and to others, the invisible power of the Spirit within makes manifest in the physical form. I invite you to experience the light, the divine radiance within you, and reflected in each and every person that you see. Know that all the answers to every difficulty you may be experiencing exists within your own soul. Dive into the wellspring of love, the wellspring of wisdom. Dive in and get ready to hear the answers and to live and to thrive, knowing that we are limitless. We are the consciousness of life, the consciousness in the universe, the one infinite being of love and law in perfect harmony. And so honor this blissful consciousness that is contained within your own physical being. Say yes to this beautiful love that resides deep within your soul. Breathe in the love and exhale peace. And so it is. Namaste. Now, Nick, could I just get your program for a second, please? Thank you. I meant to grab it on my way up. I was going to steal it from you. We have a community song. It's very simple. It is a chant, but I want you to understand what the words mean. They're in Sanskrit. Namaste, I acknowledge the godliness in you. Chid is consciousness, Ananda is bliss, and Rupe is form. So this chant is honoring the blissful consciousness that is contained in the physical form of you. And so I'm going to hand it over to Aiden.
Okay, so I want you to stand up and say namaste to the person next to you. Say hello to the people around you. Feel the music move through you. Sing it out loud from your heart. Namaste. Namaste.
Oh, that was so good. Thank you. More chants to come. Isn't chanting just so beautiful? Oh, love it, love it, love it. So we'll all know Sanskrit really well in a few months as we do more chants. Oh, I am going to invite up to give us his words of wisdom, most likely through a story, because he is an incredible storyteller, our practitioner of the day, Nick Michelli. Come on up, Nick.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to tell a story, but I think there might be a story implied in what I'm talking about. There's been a lot of talk already in this service about the godliness of each person, and I got a quote from Ernest Holmes which came to me by way of this month's Science of Mind magazine. The perception of unity sees through all differences to one universal sameness, yet unity does not mean uniformity. We do not all have to be alike, think alike or act alike, but the world is learning we must all act in union. So this is a good statement about diversity and also the unity behind that, and the common ground that I can have with everybody, no matter how different they are. Last year, Helen sent out, Reverend Helen sent out one of her news bulletins that she sometimes does to the practitioners regarding a webinar, an online seminar by the Diversity Inclusion Committee. And I went to it and I was really taken by it, and I've gone to very many of them in the past year, including discussions about how these meetings impacted us. I'll mention Reverend Michelle Senegal, who's the chair of that committee. We've gone into a lot of topics. We've talked about how those of us who, I guess you could say, aren't part of the communities that are subject sometimes to discrimination, that how we can be allies to people who want more inclusion. And we've listened to some really interesting talks. We had one whole session on transgenderism, and the guest was Reverend Rafe Ellis, who is a transgender. He told us, shared with us a beautiful story about how he had to come out to his wife that he was a transgender. And it was very touching about testimony to their love. His wife, not Reverend, but Deborah Ellis. And there's a lot of challenging ideas came out in these discussions. For example, they referred to these very liberal white people who say, "I'm colorblind. I see the person, not the race." And the answer that some people gave to that, and people who may have even said that in the past, was colorblind isn't good enough. We need to recognize the differences. We need to acknowledge that as well as the common ground. And that means listening, and that's another thing that came out. It's sharing experiences. One of the early seminars referred us to a test that comes out of a very clever science called neurometrics. It's a way of getting to what you're really thinking without having a chance to lie to a questionnaire. And these were tests for implicit bias. It's called the IAT, the Implicit Association Test. And Harvard University, which maintains it, says in their preamble when you go to take the test, you may learn something about yourself that you didn't want to know. Are you prepared to continue? And they were right. I discovered that I apparently still have prejudices I thought I got over a long time ago. This was a point that came out quite a bit in these seminars, that the journey to inclusion and recognizing the uniqueness of every person is a personal journey, and every one of us has to make it in our own way. So I'm going to finish with a little bit of science of mind, and I'm going to say namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you, and implied in that is I'm prepared to do the work, to see the God in you. So I'm going to say the affirmation once, and then you can repeat it with me. I see the beauty that abounds in nature as a reflection of my true essence. With me, I see the beauty that abounds in nature as a reflection of my true essence. And now, I invite everyone to the present space. I recognize this truth that we're all one. We all come from one unity. The divine mind, the origin of everything, is the source of all of our relationships, all of our experience, all of the ongoing changes that every one of us lives through. And I know that I'm a perfect expression of divine mind. And I see a perfect expression of divine mind all around me, everywhere I look. And in this unity, we all get our gifts, our special offering to this big picture of who we all are. Every one of us, in our own way, in our unique way, our one-of-a-kind way, express what we have to offer. And all of us share and give to each other in this divine unity. I'm grateful for all the diversity that's in my community, in my society. I'm grateful for the unique gifts that everyone brings. This is the truth, and I say it with peace and confidence. I know this. I feel it. I release it to the law. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh, don't you just love? I'm willing to do the work to see the divine in you. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, and so in line with my talk today. Because there are no mistakes. There's only one mind, and we all tap into it. Thank you, Nick. Our next feature song, again, no mistakes. I chose this song on Monday, sent it to Brendan, and wow, wasn't even going to talk about it, wasn't on my mind, but I'm like, we have to do this song, and then a whole bunch of stuff showed up. So, perfect. And it's called I Forgive Me. I love that. I love when I hear mms.
I forgive me for having a sniffly nose. I hope you can forgive me too.
change.
Wow. Wow.
The band, everybody.
Wow.
Aiden Farrell, everybody.
Ah, that song was written by Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. So pretty cool that we have such a powerful, potent minister, speaker, author that is also writing music. The guy is unbelievable. He is so tapped into source. So let me ask you this question. Are you ready for your change? Are you ready? Yeah. You know, it's so interesting because I chose this song on Monday, and then I sat in on Reverend Dr. James's ministerial class on Thursday night. And I listened to the 21 ministerial students in that class each give approximately a 5-minute talk on forgiveness. So imagine 21 stories about forgiveness. And before I heard the stories, we were all put into small groups to define what forgiveness is. To really define it from, of course, always a science of mind perspective. And the number one thing around forgiveness is the giving up, the releasing of an old, painful, hurtful energy so that we can tune ourselves into a higher vibration. Because then when we can release all that old historical pain, which sometimes, you know, we have a reason for hanging on to it, and the number one reason is we don't have to take responsibility for our lives. We get to blame others or the universe or life itself for circumstances. And so we might want to hold on to it, as opposed to releasing it so that we can have that inner attunement to something new. So forgiveness, for me, is a practice. A lot of people were saying on Thursday night, it's a tool. And I want to define the difference between what a tool is and a practice. Because in life, when we go to use a tool, we use it to either break something down or to build something up. Would you agree? Yeah, tools. You got your little toolbox. I have a toolbox upstairs. Fixing something, putting holes in walls to hang something, usually here. So a practice, a spiritual practice, is something that I use consistently to bring me home to myself, to bring me into that place of my soul, my spirit. And so forgiveness is a wonderful practice to bring me back into the absolute truth of who I am. Therefore, when I do that, I raise my vibration into the energy of love, which is, of course, a vibration that, is kind of a good place to reside in. But here's the thing. We often want to resolve a situation from the same energetic level from which it was created, which is completely impossible to do. And I think that's what Einstein meant when he said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. We cannot change that energetic vibration from the same energetic vibration that it was created from. We need to move up and transcend. So forgiving ourselves opens us up to being in an alignment with the universe to allow us to have a whole new energetic perspective on how we can show up differently to allow the problem to solve itself. You see, we don't have to be the fixers of the problems. It's about really putting ourselves into alignment with who we are, without resistance, and releasing the clutter from your mind. And it's also about being very true to yourself. Very true to yourself, despite what anybody thinks. Because let me ask you this. How many of you, when you have an idea or you want to do something and you wonder if, and I'm guilty of this, I'll just put that out there. Go and ask somebody else, do you think this is a good idea? We'll do it, right? Yeah, for the most part. Unless, I don't know, you're the Dalai Lama or somebody. We're so conditioned to go outside of ourselves and ask somebody else's opinion, as opposed to, does this resonate for me? Does this truly, truly resonate for me? Is it in alignment with who I am? And does it bring me a lightness of being? So the moment you start caring about what somebody else thinks, you have malaligned your energy with your own internal vortex. So, Kim, do you mind going to the slide? So what is a vortex? There is an internal vortex of energy, and it is your alignment, your unification with the universal presence of divine. It is an expansive motion that moves us forward in our lives. And we don't have to go to Sedona to be in the vortex. Sedona is known for being a spiritual vortex of this incredible energy. That energy is within ourselves. And it's the holding tank, it's the anchor, it's the touchstone. It is the eternal pool of our well-being. And so, are you willing to tap into your own inner vortex of divine energy, the absolute truth of who you are, and take action from that place? It takes a lot of courage to say, yeah, everybody else out here is saying maybe I should do this, but this is what's right for me. And, of course, what happens to us is in this internal vortex of energy gets stuck. It's energy in our bodies that gets stuck. And since everything is energy, the dis-ease is just a dense energy that is stuck in our vortex of being. It's at a lower frequency of vibration. So when you're focused on something that is hurtful in it, or you're angry about, or it makes you sad, you're actually creating dense energy in this vortex. And so what happens is that when you have that energy that's going on inside at that lower frequency, of course, the universe just brings you stuff that matches that frequency. And then you go, why does this keep happening to me? Why is this going on all the time? No, our job is to, as Nick so beautifully said, that is just like the best line ever, to do the work so that I can see the divine in each and every person. Because if I'm doing my inner work, I'm raising my vibration, I am attracting all kinds of other circumstances and people and opportunities into my life that will continue to raise my vibration. But when we get stuck in the minutia of the everyday drudge, and we stay there and we focus on it, what does it do? Expands. It expands. So we have control of our vibrational output. And it's by becoming aware of what's going on in our own mind. And I've got to tell you a little story about my own vibrational output. Oh, yeah. So last Sunday, I was actually in incredible pain. I had thrown my back out. And people said, how'd you throw your back out? I'm like, yoga. Yoga? Like you throw your back out in yoga? No. I, the day before, had been doing a lot of work on releasing old limiting beliefs in my subconscious mind. And so everything started to move. And then something got caught and my back went out. So on Thursday, I go back to my practitioner and I'm working on some more subconscious beliefs. And I'm doing this grounding with my hands after one subconscious belief. And literally, I felt the vortex in my body. That energy was spinning. I almost thought, am I going to be nauseous here? Like, don't want to be nauseous in this office. But it felt so potent, that energy spinning. And I literally felt my lower back unwind. And you want to know what that subconscious belief was? Expectations of others to be a certain way. Expectations of others to be a certain way. And the moment I let it go, everything shifted. And so, what expectations are you holding on to of others that they should or be a certain way that is creating energy blocks in your system? Because the moment we can let go of needing other people to be a certain way in order for us to feel usually safe, secure, seen, and soothed, I always go back to my 4 S's there. It's like, oh, I don't need them to be any particular way so that I feel good. And I can stay out of their business. Because I was putting a lot of energy being in other people's business. How many of you put a lot of energy into being in other people's business? Right? Yeah. No, your job is to take care of your own business, to do the work on you, to see the God in each and every person. Oh, not always easy, especially when I'm really attached to something. I want them to be a certain way. And it's like, no, not my business, not my business. And I've been saying that a lot lately. Not my business. And it's not from an uncompassionate place or an unfeeling place. It is from a place of full faith and trust that the divine in each person is that wellspring of wisdom. And they have the power to tap into it. And it's not my business whether they do or not. But it is my business to see the divine in them, to see that person as perfect, whole, and complete, and to not get caught up in the trauma and drama of life. Because there's so much trauma and drama that can go on all the time. No. I got to work on myself. Otherwise, I'm going to keep throwing my back out, and I don't want to do that. And I'm back at yoga, and I'm just fine. So I want to give you an Ernest Holmes quote here. If I can find it. It's a great quote. Oh, I can't find the quote. Oh, that's so interesting. Usually I always find my quotes. I have them in big, bold letters. Oh, where are you? Here he is. Okay. In The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes says, the world has learned all it should through suffering and pain. Think about that just for 1 minute before I go on. The world has learned all it should through suffering and pain. Don't you think we've had enough of that? Yeah. Surely there can be no intelligence in the universe that wishes us to be sick, suffer pain, be unhappy, and end in oblivion. Surely, if God or universal intelligence is imbued with goodness, then God, could not ordain that we should ultimately be other than the perfect expression of life. So it really is up to each and every one of us to do that inner work, to be really clear about what we're thinking. And if you want to know what's going on in your subconscious mind, you can always go to a practitioner, or you can look at what's going on in your life, because that's the absolute mirror of what goes on in our subconscious mind. Remember, our conscious mind is only 5%. Our subconscious subjective mind is 95%. So to uncover, to discover what those limiting beliefs are and release them so that you can open yourself up to receiving more love, more goodness, more joy, prosperity, and happiness than you ever had before, because it's all there in the universe. Everything, single thing we have ever desired, asked for, wanted, needed is already available to us in the universe. We are all part of this infinite, subjective universe that holds, as I've said before, all of what was, all of what is, and all the possibilities for the future. We are all connected to it. So we can tap in and ask for what it is we desire. We can tap in and say yes to joy and happiness and peace and prosperity. But it's up to us to do the tapping in and to get all of those clogged, denser vibrations out of the way. We need to go into our own vortex and allow that energy, that high vibration of love, to just spring forth from us. And when we do that, then we have unplugged what's been plugged up in the universe, and it will all show up. That is what we do as spiritual practitioners here in this center. We are constantly treating our minds to open up to receive more and more and more good. And if anyone ever needs to have prayer done, I mean, we always have a practitioner on Sundays, but you go to our website for anything that you desire. You go to the prayer request, you put that in, it goes out to all the practitioners, and we are praying for you. So if you can't hold the belief that you're worthy of it, allow somebody else who knows the spiritual truth to do that work, and all you need to do is open yourself up to receiving your good. And that for me is, when I work with people, is the hardest thing for people to get, that they are worthy of receiving their good. All kinds of people, and I'm like, wow, so all these beliefs are just stopping up that vortex and not allowing the good to come in. So open up your minds to receiving the good. It is not our job here to tell you what you should be thinking. We open you up to learn how to think, to really focus your mind on spiritual truth so that you are in a vibrational alignment to receive your good. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes for a minute, because I'm going to have you play with me a little bit. And what is the thought that you can focus on in your mind? What is that thought that will open you up to receiving your good? Whatever that thought is. And I want you to breathe it in. Breathe it in. Use the vibration. Breathe it into your being. Say yes to my good. Say yes to the joy, the love, the peace, the prosperity, the happiness, the oneness, the divinity within. Breathe it in. Make this a new cause for you in your life. A new focus where anything that shows up that is not a vibrational match to that, you go, no, I'm going back to this. And so, I want to hear you say, I say yes to my good. I say yes to my good. I say yes to my love. I say yes to my light. And so it is. You know, one of the things that showed up in the Science of Mind study group on Wednesday night, as we're going through the original text, which has some brilliant, brilliant nuggets in it, is that we often think of the law of cause and effect, and there's a little bit of a fear factor there, like, if I think those thoughts, that's what's going to show up, and that might not be good. What we need to understand is the law of cause and effect is God in action. So the law of cause and effect is always, always supporting our good. Always supporting our good. Always supporting us in raising up our vibration. And so, what I know right here, right now, is that there is only this one infinite, total, beautiful, creative power that is in and through all of life. It is the law of cause and effect in action, and that perfect divine cause of love creates an opening, a vortex in my being and in the being of each and every person here to receive so much love and grace and beauty and wonder and wisdom. It is unstoppable, this vortex that goes right deep into the very core of my soul and of the souls of each and every person here. And so with that understanding, that this vortex of energy, this vortex of love is who and what we are. I, as a divine spiritual being, I commit to releasing all, to forgiving myself, to raising my vibration, and to doing the inner work so that I see the divine in each and every person, every single time. And knowing that my word, as it is spoken, is law. And so it is so beautifully formed and molded in the law to show up in each and every moment. So with that, I release, I let go. And together, let's affirm this by saying, and so it is. Namaste. Thank you. And so I also want to say that we're going to stand up and sing It's a Wonderful World. And as the baskets go around, what I invite you to do is to recognize your own infinite source of prosperity, of lightness, of love, and give from that place. Because, there's no point in giving if you're not giving cheerfully. Because if we're not feeling it, then we're sending out a mixed message to the universe. So, what a great song to sing as the baskets go around. And so I invite you to all stand up.
see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you.
What I know is that it is a wonderful world. It is a world of infinite possibilities. It is a world that is filled with incredible potential for peace and love within our hearts. It is a world that does work for everyone when we focus on knowing the absolute divine truth that each and every person we meet is a perfect expression of God, of this divine universal presence of goodness. And so with that, I give thanks for all that we have received today. I give thanks for each and every person here today. I give thanks for everyone who watches online. And I know that there is something that is shifting in this consciousness in the world that is raising us up to know and live from this universal truth, which brings great hope and great ease into my being. And so, in gratitude for all that is received here today, I release, I let go, and I let this beautiful, beautiful energy flow, this beautiful music flow. And together we say, and so it is. Okay, just a couple of things before we head out on this Sunday. Our auction. Yes, our auction. It finishes at 9 o'clock tonight. So please go online and bid. This is our big fundraiser. So lots of great stuff there, lots of great experiences. And Kim. Oh, that's me, huh? So I'm starting something new. And that is 8 o'clock. Actually, Brendan, just a tiny bit quieter. Thank you. I feel like I'm screaming over the piano. Thank you. Monday mornings, 8 a.m., I am starting a 15-minute prayer session where you can Zoom in. Really easy to Zoom. The link is on the website. Click that button and join me for 15 minutes of affirmative prayer. There'll be a specific theme, but also I'll take prayer requests, and you can show up one week, not show up the next week. But hey, this is what we do here. We pray. We affirm our goodness, and we affirm all that we desire, and we affirm the truth of who we are. So show up on Mondays at 8 a.m. just for 15 minutes. Real easy to do. And our community focus. Oh my God. Okay, this reuse, reduce, refinish, resell, refurbish. Holy moly. I don't know about you, but I seem to. The other day, Mahala said, there's more plastic, not less. I'm like, I'm trying to reduce here. So anyways, just do your best. And on Sunday, June 2nd, from 1 to 3 is the lake cleanup at Woodbine Beach. And we'll have lunch here, and then I'll go to the beach and clean it up. And then we also have, sacred service. Ellen, can you please stand up so people know who you are? Ellen is our volunteer coordinator, and we would love for you to be of service to the center. So please see Ellen if you're interested in helping out around the center. And then we also have, guess who's coming to dinner? On June 7th, there is a sign-up sheet out in the hall, and it's $30. Portion goes to the host who is hosting. You can go online, or you can pay at the Live Well store, and then you will find out on the day where you are going for dinner. And don't worry if you have food allergies and stuff. We'll make sure you're all taken care of, or that you're not, having to get somewhere where you can't get to. We'll coordinate all that. We'll be contacting you with all that information, but it is a really great way to get to know people in the community. And then we also have, don't forget our Kids Connection program, the second Sunday of every month. So grab a kid. Bring him here. It's such a great thing for kids to learn this philosophy at an early age. And then also we have our Live Well store, lots of great environmental products there for you to check out. And then we have thank yous. Thank you to Aiden. Thank you. Brendan is back with us, which is great. Woohoo! Thank you. And Julian, Alex, and Wes. Thank you to Kim on camera, Cohen on sound. Thank you to the Sacred Service team. Thank you to Nick for your meditation and your words, brilliant words up here today. And our community practitioner is Judy. So if you do want prayer, you can go back and see her in the prayer room. And thank you to all of you. You're awesome. Thank you. We are going to finish up with Peace is Possible and take it out with that. Oh, and one more thing. Thank you. I had it in red on my program here. Terry, if you can just stand up so you know who Terry is. So Terry's son has a student here in Toronto. No, Terry's son has a friend who's a teacher who has a student who is from Nigeria and is a refugee. And they and their family have just been placed into an apartment. And they are in need of items like pots, pans, towels, TV and microwave if you have an extra one of those lying around. Anything that you feel you can release and let go of from love, please bring it on Sunday, and Women Terry will pick it all up. Okay? And what a great way to help a new family get settled here in Toronto. So thank you for putting your hand up and reminding me about that, Terry. And thank you to all of you, and we'll kick it off with Peace is Possible.
Yes. To all those who say peace is just a fantasy, that people are born to disagree, I say start by bringing peace to your own family, and watch it spread beyond where you can see. To all those who say our differences are far too great, that people always need an enemy, I say start by bringing love to your community, and then change the way you think about everyone you see. 'Cause peace is possible when we sing our song together. Peace is possible when we let love lead the way. Peace is possible when we reach out to each other. Peace is possible today. Saying the world is far too great to change, that one little lie can't matter much, I say we all have the power of the universe, and we all have to be the change we want to see. 'Cause peace is possible when we sing our song together. Peace is possible when we let love lead the way. Peace is possible when we reach out to each other. Peace is possible today. And if I'm dreaming, what a wonderful dream to share. Let's keep dreaming, 'cause reality's waiting there. Peace is possible when we sing our song together. Peace is possible when we let love lead the way. Peace is possible when we reach out to each other. Peace is possible today. 'Cause peace is possible when we sing our song together. Woo! Peace is possible when we let love lead the way. Oh, peace is possible when we reach out to each other. Peace is possible today. Woo! Have a great week, everybody.